up to now, because it's about to go downhill. My name is Kiani, and I would like to talk a little bit about my journey up to here, how it is that I ended up on this very small stage, directly in front of you guys in particular, but in front of the rest of you as well. So, around this time last year, I accepted a PhD position to come and study at the University of Edinburgh. We all make mistakes. So here I am a year later, having a go at stand-up comedy instead. I'm trying to gain more transferable skills for when my academic career inevitably goes down the toilet. 5 months in and already planning for the future. No, it's going well, I'm enjoying it. It's just been quite an adjustment for me. See, I'm a biochemist. That's what I studied for my undergraduate and my master's degrees. But I'm actually now in the School of Chemistry for my PhD. Woo! Thank you very much. Well, what is the big deal, I can hear you saying? Biochemistry and chemistry are pretty much the same word, so it must be quite a smooth transition. This is what I thought as well. I was wrong. The only way I can really describe it, this move from biochemistry to chemistry, is like if you've ever gone to Europe or the US and had to drive on the wrong side of the road. Theoretically, you know how to do it. In fact, you're pretty sure you've got all the qualifications to enable you to do it. But when you actually try and do it, you realise it's much harder than it looks, and you're just a danger to yourself and everyone else around you. And this analogy, coming from someone that can't actually drive at all, I don't know what that says about my ability as a scientist in general. But, so, last September, I arrived in Edinburgh, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to start my research career. I was going to change the world one experiment at a time and win a Nobel Prize. What a fool. Science just isn't that smooth, of course. I think it took about 2 months for the enthusiasm to drain out of me. Not helped, of course, by the fact I sit in an office with other PhD students who have also had their enthusiasm and motivation for science completely drained out through years of failed experiments and rejected papers. Now, I don't want you to think I'm the kind of person that would come up on a stage and be mean to my research group behind their back. So I invited them all here, so I can take the piss out of them to their faces instead. Honestly, none of you are safe. I'm kidding. They are a great bunch of people. In fact, you met Tom Lambert earlier. He was shit, wasn't he? No, they are a great bunch of people. In fact, they are the reason why I'm on the stage. So it's become a bit of a tradition in our group that one person from the new wave of recruits every year has to take part in Bright Club. So this year, it was between myself and our other shiny new PhD student, Maria. See, Maria is from Madrid, and as we all know, the Spanish people just aren't funny. Here I am instead, taking one for the team. You're all very welcome. The other main reason why I wanted to take part was because I've recently become interested in science communication. Kiani, what is science communication, you say? Well, it's simply scientists communicating science to non-scientists. So there seems to be a communication barrier between scientists and the general public, which is a surprise because we love to talk about what we do. We are actually quite narcissistic. In fact, I don't think I've been to a single scientific talk where an academic has managed to stay within their allotted time. Are there any lecturers in the audience? Yeah, you are all guilty of this. So, it's odd that there is this issue, but there is. And it leads to great misunderstandings. People believe what they read in the media, that bacon can cause cancer and that vaccines can lead to autism. And they also have this warped idea of us as scientists as well. They think we're all, cooped up in basement labs wearing white lab coats and pouring brightly coloured liquids into other brightly coloured liquids. This could not be further from the truth. I, for one, cannot remember the last time I wore a lab coat. And most of my work involved dissolving white powders into colourless solutions to make other colourless solutions. I'm not going to lie, when I signed up for a chemistry PhD, I was expecting Breaking Bad. And I have been disappointed. But So we need to address this issue of science communication. And I remember very clearly a conversation I had with my mother not that long ago, and I was trying to describe my research to her. And I realised it was like trying to describe to people where I'm from. See, I'm from a small town in the middle of England called Rugby, and no one has ever heard of Rugby. That's fine. So I say, have you heard of Coventry? Maybe a few more people have heard of Coventry. There we go. Maybe, have you heard of Birmingham? Yeah, and the vast majority of people have heard of Birmingham. I am not from Birmingham. Hopefully you will have already realised that by the lack of horrible accent. But I've had to generalise to make you sort of understand, and it's the same with my research. So if you're all quite ready for some science, my official PhD title is Understanding the Role of Post-Translational Modification in Age-Related Protein Aggregation. Yeah, right. So I'm usually, faced with this kind of blank looks that I'm getting right now. That's fine. So I'll say I study the proteins involved in neurodegeneration, and maybe a few more people start on the ball now. Eventually I just say, I work on Parkinson's. And I do work in the field of Parkinson's, but my research is a very small part of a bigger picture. But again, I've had to generalise to sort of make people understand what I do. So when I was writing this set, I thought, I don't really want to make jokes about my research. Parkinson's is a horrible condition, and it affects a lot of people. How am I going to make jokes about Parkinson's without being very offensive? It really is shaky ground. I'm so sorry. Okay, that's it. That I swear. That is the only Parkinson's joke I'm going to make. It's not actually because I was worried about being offensive. I am worried about being offensive, but it's mostly because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm only in the first year of my PhD. I have no idea what I'm doing yet. And I can see my supervisor sort of looking at me, but... so with that, I will leave. I'd like to end with a quote by a scientist that really did understand what he was doing. So it was Albert Einstein that once said that madness is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Albert Einstein had never done biochemistry. Thank you very much.
Kiani Jeacock, whose entire PhD is now in doubt.